Should there be a database system that tracks the Muslims here in this country?
There should be a lot of systems beyond database. I mean, we should have a lot of systems. And today you can do it. But right now we have to have a border, we have to have strength, we have to have a wall, and we cannot let what's happening to this country happen.
But that's something your White House would like to implement.
Oh, I would certainly implement that. Absolutely.
What do you think the effect of that would be? How would that work?
It would stop people from coming in illegally. We have to stop people from coming in to our country illegally.
For Muslims specifically, how do you actually get them registered into a database?
It would be just good management. What you have to do is good management procedures. And we can do that. That's nice.
I mean, do you go to mosques and sign these people up into the system?
Different places. You sign them up at different, but it's all about management. Our country has no management.
Should there be a database system that tracks the Muslims here in this country?
There should be a lot of systems beyond database. I mean, we should have a lot of systems. And today you can do it.
But that's something your White House would like to implement.
Oh, I would certainly implement that. Absolutely.
Specifically, how do you actually get them registered into a database?
It would be just good management. What you have to do is good management procedures. And we can do that. That's nice.
I mean, do you go to mosques and sign these people up into the system?
Different places. You sign them up at different, but it's all about management.
Current GOP presidential frontrunner Donald Trump taking heat for suggesting that the United States create a Muslim database. But Trump now saying he was just responding to this reporter's question.
Should there be a database system that tracks the Muslims here in this country?
There should be a lot of systems beyond database. I mean, we should have a lot of systems. And today you can do it. But right now we have to have a border, we have to have strength, we have to have a wall. And we cannot let what's happening to this country happen.
But that's something your White House would like to implement.
Oh, I would certainly implement that. Absolutely.
What do you think the effect of that would be? How would that work?
It would stop people from coming in illegally. We have to stop people from coming in to our country illegally.
For Muslims specifically, how do you actually get them registered into a database?
It would be just good management. What you have to do is good management procedures. And we can do that. That's nice.
I mean, do you go to mosques and sign these people up into the system?
Different places. You sign them up at different, but it's all about management. Our country has no management.
Right now, presidential candidate Donald Trump goes on the record. So, Donald, you're taking heat for suggesting a Muslim database to track terrorists, but you say you were just responding to that reporter's question about it. So let's hear it directly from you. Would President Donald Trump support a full Muslim database?
Well, first of all, how are you, Kimberly? It's nice to talk to you.
Great to have you tonight.
Good. I was really responding to a totally different reporter. He was responding to that reporter, where basically the suggestion was made, and it's certainly something we should start thinking about. But what I want is a watch list. I want surveillance programs. Obviously, there are a lot of problems. I want a database for the Syrian refugees that Obama's going to let in if we don't stop him, as Republicans, if we don't stop him. But certainly I'd want to have a database for the refugees, for the Syrian refugees that are coming in, because nobody knows where they're coming from. I hear some are missing. At least one is missing already, gone. And you looked at what happened in Paris. You're looking at what's happened all over the place. Look at the tragic event of today and last night in the hotel. And you say to yourself, why shouldn't we have good surveillance? So I want to have watch lists. I want to have surveillance programs. I mean, we're not a bunch of babies. We need protection, and we need it now. And we don't have leadership in this country. Certainly our president is not a leader. So we need protection. We need it now. And we should have database for the Syrian refugees if they come in through Obama, and they're already starting.
Okay, so to be clear, you're not saying anything with respect to a religious database. You're talking about the Syrian refugees in light of the national security developments affecting this country as we speak here tonight. Who was this reporter that brought this up and made that suggestion?
Well, first of all, I don't even know who he was. He's a guy with a camera, and he was asking questions. He said, I think he was from NBC, but you couldn't hear anything because I was signing books, and there was music blaring in the background, and people were screaming to sign books and sign different things. And he was asking questions. So I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it very clearly. But even if I did, I mean, I want database for the Syrian refugees that Obama's going to let them if they come in. But they've already started coming in, Kimberly, which is absolutely ridiculous. I think it's a Trojan horse, and plenty of problems are going to be caused. We are very, very foolish in this country, and we have a lot of problems. And the biggest problem, we have no leader.
Right. And why wouldn't the terrorists that want to do great harm to this country and other countries throughout the world and establish a caliphate want to take advantage of an easy loophole, a weakness in terms of screening or in terms of an ability to get into countries to be able to do the things they want to commit, the acts of jihad? But speaking of President Obama, he is on the record calling presidential candidates like yourself un-American when it comes to these refugees. Your response?
Well, look, you look at what he's done. You looked at his performance 3 days ago during the news conference, which was abysmal. It was terrible. It was insulting. He was more angry at reporters, frankly, at the press, than he was at, and frankly, he was also very angry at Republicans, but he was more angry at the press than he was at the people that did the terrible killings in Paris. And you look at what he did and what he said and the way he acted, it was disgraceful. It was a disgrace to our country. But he was actually more angry at the media than he was at the killers, at the thugs that did the work. And I'm glad to see that they're not using mastermind anymore. You know, I was tweeting that out today. I said, don't use mastermind. They're thugs. They're scum. And that's what people have to call them, not masterminds. And you wonder why young people start, forming and going into ISIS. And, it's interesting. Since I've done that, I haven't seen the word mastermind. But these aren't masterminds. These are bad people.
This is such an interesting point that you bring up, because words matter, and words matter to the American people. And when you have to instill confidence in this country, that we're on top of it. And you know who else agrees with you? Rob O'Neill, the Navy SEAL that killed Osama bin Laden, was really objecting. To me personally, was writing me an email saying we shouldn't be using the word mastermind. So you're in very good company there.
Great.
So
he's a good guy.
Yeah, I removed it from the language for the show last night.
That's great.
But more on the issue of words and the importance of them. Hillary Clinton, who was part of the failed policies of Barack Obama when she served as Secretary of State, is refusing to say the words radical Islam. If you were debating Hillary Clinton as a Republican nominee, what would you say to her about failing to use those words?
Well, it's a terrible thing that she's failing to use those words, and I think she wants to stay on the good side of President Obama because she's only making it by a thread. What she did is totally illegal with the emails, and how she's actually even able to run is hard to believe. And she's just making it, Kimberly, by a thread, believe me. And she's now using language by not using language that I think is going to cause her a very, very steep loss. I don't think she has the stamina or the strength to run. I really don't. I've seen her. I've watched her. I don't think she has the stamina or the strength. This is not what we need as a president. We need somebody that's going to get in and really do the job. And she's always putting out fires. She's been putting out fires her whole life. And frankly, one of the greatest achievements she has ever done, in my opinion, if she escapes the email scandal, which is totally crooked, 100%. I mean, you look at what she's violated so many different laws. If she escapes that, it might go down as her single greatest achievement.
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable. That should be a very thorough investigation, especially as a former prosecutor. When I look and compare the facts and circumstances and you see what happened to General Petraeus, you had a completely different treatment, not only by the media, but it seems by the government and the agencies investigating. But let's see if the FBI and Comey, if they are able to do the right thing and justice ultimately is served at the end of the day. So if people
it's going to be very interesting, Kimberly. It's going to be very interesting. And not only General Petraeus, but other people have been very, very harshly treated, to put it nicely, and they have been treated very, very unfairly. And by the way, they're not feeling so happy about what's going on because what they did was 5% of what she did.
So let's talk about if this turns into the head-to-head pretty quickly down the road here, and you're the Republican nominee, and you are up against what looks like the inevitable nominee, Hillary Clinton. What would you say to the voters to make a choice specifically as to why you feel you're better suited to be president than a Hillary Clinton presidency?
Well, if you just look at her record, she goes down as one of the worst Secretary of States in history, and probably the worst, although I must tell you that Kerry's signing of the Iran deal could maybe throw him into first position, which is just a disgrace. That deal was allowed to be signed, that we're giving $150 billion to Iran, that all of those things are in that deal, including the fact that we don't even get back our prisoners. Of course, they'll negotiate separately and get a lot of extra things for that. But she has been really disastrous, and everybody understands it. Everybody knows it. I just don't think she's going to do very well. She's got very little gravitas. She will not be a great leader. And I said it before, she doesn't have the strength or the stamina, and we can't play political games anymore. We are being attacked and losing at every front.